Does Bart sell livestock? Hello everyone, and thanks for watching the first episode of BartVlogs, a new short mini-series where I talk about random crap, to be honest. Now, I'm a YouTuber in the Netherlands that breeds and studies moths, commonly by breeding them in captivity. And well, that sounds exciting. Actually, I'm not the one that invented this hobby. It may surprise you, but in Europe and America there's actually a quite big community for this hobby. Now, you may know of the many people who keep tarantulas or spiders as their hobby. You may know of the people who keep snakes or other exotic animals. You may know people who breed stick insects. And all of them are pretty big communities. The butterfly and moth community is a little bit smaller. There's not as many people that want to breed moths and butterflies as there are people that want to breed spiders or scorpions or snake. But it's still a pretty huge community that has its own market, etc. Naturally, my YouTube channel, that's about this hobby, attracts a lot of people who have the same interest as me. And I would say that a fairly large percentage of my viewers and subscribers themselves are also breeders of butterflies and moths. Now, so it's not that unthinkable that the most commonly asked question on my channel is, "Hey Bart, do you sell eggs of this? Hey Bart, do you sell cocoons of this species?" Because, hey, let's be honest, I'm showcasing a lot of nice and unusual species that I'm breeding on YouTube. So the temptation is big. And today I'm going to answer the question if do I ever sell any of these eggs and cocoons? If you're curious about the answer, then you have to stay tuned. You listen. So to answer the question, does Bart ever sell any of his eggs or cocoons or offspring of his pet insects? The answer is generally no. But there's also a small yes. However, there's a few things holding me back from selling things online. And if you don't want to know what it is, well then you have to keep watching this episode. Okay, so I've taken off my vlogging hat because it was getting hot out here, man, with that thing on my head. And perhaps this way the video is more enjoyable and less distracting. The first and foremost reason why I rarely end up selling things is because of this: supply and demand. Now, if you breed moths and you pair one male and female, it's not that uncommon to end up with hundreds of eggs. So you would think that it would be easy to satisfy people when you breed insects that produce hundreds and hundreds of individuals, right? Except that's not really true. I have a lot of exposure on social media. I'm not saying that because I want to LARP like I'm some famous guy, but I do have a lot of followers. First of all, there's YouTube. Let's start with YouTube. That's where all of you know me from. You're watching me. And I have at the moment 4,000 subscribers. So that's potentially 4,000 people, right, who are watching this. But the people who watch my channel are not always subscribed. I have videos that have a lot of views and the viewership exceeds the people that have subscribed to my channel. So where there's 4,000 interested people that subscribe to my channel, there's also 1,000 people out there watching my videos. Then again, we have a thing called Facebook. And again, on Facebook I have about 4,500 friends. That's a lot of friends. Well, are they really friends? I mean, on Facebook they're called friends, but I have probably no idea who these people are in real life. Still, there's quite a lot of interest in what I do, the pictures I post, the insects, blah blah blah. On Facebook I also have a public page. It's called Moth of the Day, and it's automatically reprogrammed to keep reposting pictures of insects just to attract some attention and try to draw people to my YouTube channel. The page has about 6,000 likes at this moment. So there's that, okay? Then you have, well, Instagram. It's not that significant, but I'll write it down. Insta, well, I have about 1,500 followers. That's not so much. But is that all? No, not really. I have a website where I everything I breed, I record the life cycles of these insects. When I breed a moth, on my website I write a care sheet about them. And this website is moderately successful. I mean, it's about a very niche subject, but at the moment it has 160,000 visits. So it means 160,000 visitors have visited my website about insects, and that means there are probably thousands of readers who are reading my care sheet about how to breed moths. So it's called Breeding Butterflies, but I'll just write website. Well, it's hard to estimate how many people are reading my website, because when you revisit the same page twice, it counts as 2 views. So these thousands of reads may actually be a few people who keep visiting the website over and over again, but it's still potentially a very big audience, okay? And they're not shy about emailing me either with questions. So let's say website question mark, but it's a lot, right? It's a lot. Was this all? No, not really, because I'm also active on a few forums. There's a very popular forum in Europe where people like to post about their hobby and advertise things for sale. And you also have a very nice gallery where you can post pictures of insects. I also have a Flickr page where I upload my photos of whatever I breed, etc. Overall, there's just a lot of random things that generate a lot of interest in what I do online, okay? And people from all these platforms are not shy about asking me for eggs. On YouTube alone, I think I get about maybe 10 messages on a good day inquiring me for livestock. Same often happens on Facebook. And people have messaged me on all platforms, Instagram, website, blah 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 blah. So basically I'm constantly being bombarded with requests for eggs or material, and you know, that's fine. It's okay to ask me things. I'm not going to play like an arrogant guy here from people start begging me things. No, that's actually this hobby, the spirit of this hobby is sharing things with each other. That's what breeders do. When you breed a nice species, you want to share this with other people, and I also exchange stuff. So I'm not here to complain that people are begging. I think it's a reasonable thing to ask. Thing is, the demand is so extremely high. I'm really unable to satisfy, well, I couldn't even satisfy 1% of all these people, because if I want to satisfy all these demands here, it means I would have to produce hundreds of eggs on a daily basis. Now, some of you may say, hey, there's potential here, why don't you start farming them on a big scale, and you know, start your web shop with insects, or you know, become a salesman. Well, the answer is I'm not really interested in this. For me it's a hobby, and you know, farming the same species in big amounts to make money, it takes away the fun out of the hobby for me. But this is really one of the major things. Whoops! yeah, I should improve this setup. But it's supply and demand. I am 100% unable to satisfy the large amount of questions that I get. And that's one of the main problems, you know. I mean, I have to say no to 99% of the people, and maybe there's 1% that I could sell eggs to, but I've decided to stop doing that as well. Why? I'll answer this in the next segment. Okay, so let's say this guy here represents me, see? He even has the man boobs because he's overweight and he's drinking a Monster energy drink, which is really bad for his health, but he has an addiction to it. But this is me. Now imagine that Bart, he has a pairing of a species. That means finally, after completing the life cycle of a moth, he has a female that will lay a lot of eggs. Now, what can I do with these eggs? Of course, I can offer them for sale. I can trade them with other people. I can keep them myself. Now, regular people, when they breed something, it's not a problem to sell these things online. But for me, it's a problem. I'm gonna explain this to you. Okay, so my moths are laying eggs. It's a really nice species. It's like a rare species. Everybody wants to have them. So I'm just gonna draw an Easter egg here or something, because yeah, okay, just use your mind. These are moth eggs. Now here's the thing, I have a lot of followers online, right? So if I would post these for sale, even if it's just a minute, I would immediately get a lot of responses. And this, I've done it before, and this is what happens. You get like, okay, you get 10 requests from 10 different people. Okay, so this is you guys, these are my followers. I know I should improve my drawing skills. Followers. Okay, these are my followers. I don't want to call you fans, because that's a step too far, but you are followers. Now all these people are going to want the moth eggs, okay? It's represented by one egg here. You know what happens when you keep telling people, when you can't sell them the thing they want? Exactly. They're going to be disappointed. And this is a thing, you know? That's one of the reasons why I rarely advertise things online. Because if I do, it's never enough. It's never enough to satisfy all of you. That means I'll have to pick a few people at random and make them happy, but leave the rest out. And this can lead to conflict. Now some of you may scratch their head and say, well, does it really lead to conflict? Well, yes. Some people, act like me, take this hobby seriously, and it's never nice to be disappointed or hear that, you know, when someone promised to sell you something, to turn back on his promise and tell you, sorry man, I'm out of material, I can't sell you anything. Maybe they were excited for it, they had expectations. And it may sound weird, but I've actually been unfriended before or blocked by people that I consider to be my friends, because I couldn't sell them the eggs of the species they wanted. This is really, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, this is a thing that actually happens. People get angry when you promise to give them things that you cannot deliver. But that's a problem if you have so many people who watch your videos. It's just, yeah, I have this one thing here I can sell to one lucky guy. At the same time I have to tell 20 other people that, sorry damn, I already sold them man, better luck next time. And maybe they're not disappointed and they'll think, okay, I'll ask again next time, but the next time I'll have the same problem. And some of you people who are thinking about this and say, hey, well, why don't you ship them to a different person every time? Well, they are different people each time who ask. There's just so many people, man. And this is why I have stopped advertising things online, you know. That's why I don't post adverts online like, oh, this thing here is for sale now. Because if you respond to it, it will probably already be sold out. And that's gonna disappoint people and make them angry. And I rather have happy people who watch my videos than disappointed customers. Because being a salesman, it really sucks. There's things like packages not arriving on time, people complaining about bad quality of the material, blah blah blah. It's so much drama and bullshit, and it's a good way to make enemies is to sell things, really. If being a salesman will make you enemies, I rather keep you people as friends, because it's just a greed. Sometimes it drives people insane. People will start begging because, yeah, you sent my friend these eggs, why can I not have any, blah blah blah. And I'm just so tired of this. I don't want to make drama. I just want to make videos about insects, man. I'm not in it for the money. So this is the main reason, number one, why when people ask me, can I have this and this? Nowadays I just automatically say no. I just say no to everyone. I say no, I don't sell anything online. And effectively I don't. I've stopped doing this. Because if you say yes, people will have expectations. People will send you questions. People have demand. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's really difficult if hundreds of people are expecting to have something from you and you can only make 1 or 2 people happy. That's really difficult. So yeah, I rather focus on my content instead of being a damn salesman. Now, this is reason number 1, but there are more reasons if you want to see, and keep watching. There's however also a second reason why I never advertise the stuff online. And it's called platforming. If you're curious what this is, well, I'm gonna explain it now. YouTube is somewhat of a social media platform. So is Facebook. So is Instagram. And selling animals online comes with a few ethical questions. Where I live, this hobby is legal. In many parts of the world, it's not legal. You're not allowed to buy exotic animals, be it a snake, a lizard, a parrot, or insects, online. YouTube is an international platform. The moment I start advertising things online, I'm also going to have requests from people from countries like, I don't know, India, Brazil, Thailand, whatever, wherever you live, Australia, doesn't matter. In these countries, customs are really strict. If you get caught buying exotic animals online, yeah, you can get in trouble, okay? I don't want to be responsible for that. I don't want to be exposed. Bart Coppens exposed. He is an animal smuggler, sending animals, you know, over borders where it's not allowed. Well, technically, if you order from me, it's actually your problem. If you order something that's illegal, you're the one that's going to get in trouble for it, not me. Where I live in Europe, the laws are pretty chill. I'm almost allowed to do anything I want, except for protected species, but I stay away from those, right? Follow the law, kids. So it's not a very good idea, if you are a YouTuber like me, to start selling animals online. Neither is it on Facebook. It can get you banned, actually. If you are advertising exotic animals, I don't know about Instagram or YouTube. Maybe you can get away with it, but it's not a smart thing to do, because, you know, it will chip away at your integrity. People will be suspicious of you and you can maybe get in trouble with the law. No, I rather keep YouTube as a nice website to upload educational videos, not a place to advertise sales. Now, there are actually a few forums if you are interested in buying butterflies and moths. One is called Arctias.de, it's a German website, and the other is InsectNet. This is where people from Europe and the US can advertise their pupa and eggs online. Okay, it's only for America and Europe. If you live in another country and it's banned, that sucks for you, but tough luck. You have to follow the law, man. I'm sorry. So that's the thing, you know. Actually, since recently I've become quite successful at being a YouTuber. I don't do this full time, but it's definitely taking off. Every year my channel has about doubled in subscribers, keeps growing and growing, and I rather not risk my success on this platform by doing shady things like selling animals over YouTube, and I'm really not interested in doing this. So I rather keep my platforms for what they are. I rather keep my Facebook a nice place to post my pictures. I rather keep my website as a nice place for care sheets. I rather keep my YouTube as a video platform and not an animal sales, not a pet shop. Last but not least, I'm sorry guys, I didn't make this video to advertise it, but I do have a crowdfunding platform. It's called Patreon, and this is where people who support my channel decide to donate. And one of the rewards I put there is people that subscribed. They can ask me for livestock, but this is only if you live in the United States or in Europe. I'm sorry to disappoint people who live elsewhere, but I didn't want to break the law, honestly. But yeah, one of the rewards, well, I mean, these people, I'm not saying it because I want to advertise or talk you over, I mean, but you know, it's these people are, it's logical that I put them on top of the list because they're the same people who are helping me run this channel and my hobby. So in return, yeah, I may send them eggs or cocoons, or if I happen to have a species they like, but they'll have to discuss it with me in private message first, of course, all according to supply, demand, blah 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 blah. But yeah, if you are watching this and you happen to have subscribed to my Patreon, don't feel reluctant. You can ask me for eggs or cocoons or whatever. Otherwise, you know, it's difficult to find balance in this because, you know, my passion for this hobby, it's not about the money. I've discovered I've had a lot of success with making educational content, websites, videos, YouTube, but also in real life. One of my part-time jobs is giving like presentations at colleges about the biology of butterflies and moths, and I get paid for it actually. So yeah, that's the direction I want to take my hobby, is to be an educator and to be a researcher, to contribute information and knowledge. I want to discover new things, new species, new food plants, new life cycles. I want to discover the things that nobody else has discovered. That's my passion. And my other passion is giving all this knowledge to people. I really like to talk about it, to film them, to write about it. So that's the direction I want to take my hobby, and not become a salesman. Last but not least, there's also one other reason I haven't mentioned before. This is going to be the last reason about why I'm usually very reluctant to sell livestock online, and it's because fun. I do this because for me this hobby is fun. It's fun. I like doing it. It's my hobby, okay? It's not my work. So, well, actually, since recently it is my work. You've seen my thing in Cambodia and Laos. That's my job now. So yeah, I do get paid for consultancy and breeding and giving advice, but okay, in essence it's still something I do for fun. I mean, if I want to make money, I'd become a banker or a doctor, or, you know, there's much more profitable things that you can do if you have a good working brain. But I decided to do this very niche thing because it's fun, it's my passion. And you know what sucks? Disappointing people. And imagine if I have a rare species that's very hard to breed. I already have a lot of pressure, and you know, sometimes I fail, sometimes things don't go my way and the caterpillars die, or the moths don't want to pair, or the caterpillars don't eat the food that I wanted to give them. And you know, behind the scenes actually a lot of things die. I don't film it, I don't upload it a lot, but it's trial and error. It's normal for everyone who is a breeder that sometimes your insects will die and your breeding will fail. That's normal, that's normal. But it just adds to the extra pain that, you know, it's, imagine that you promised to give someone eggs of a very rare species that they wanted all their life. It's their dream species, and you accidentally kill them. Now, not only will you hurt inside because your breeding project has failed, you also have to go out and tell other people that your project has failed. Like, oh, I'm sorry man, I know I promised you eggs of this rare moth, but I killed them, so there's not going to be any eggs for you. And repeating this over and over, it just adds to my frustration. So you have to think about it again. It's you know, you have to confront yourself but also others with your failure. And if someone who is really thirsty to have your eggs or cocoons is emotionally invested in your breeding, it really sucks the fun out of it, because you get a lot of pressure, because you know, I don't want to disappoint Peter and John. They're my best friends and they really want eggs of this moth, so I have to be successful, I have to breed them so I can give them the eggs they want. And when it dies, not only you are going to be disappointed, and also other people are going to be disappointed. It's giving me a lot of stress, and it just, you know, it fucks up the fun, it sucks the fun out of my hobby. So that's another reason why I generally don't want to make a lot of promises, because if you make promises you have to keep your word, and I'm not always able to do this, because sometimes you fail, blah. And if you are just a regular guy breeding them, it's not even that bad. It's really bad if you have to do this with hundreds of people, you know, it gets tiresome. That's why. Anyway, thanks for watching the first episode of BartVlogs, and I hope to see you next episode, man. See ya. Hey everyone, and thanks for watching BartVlogs, my random YouTube mini-series where I talk about anything I want. I was very reluctant to do this and start vlogging, because you see, I'm an entomologist from the Netherlands that usually films butterflies, moths and other insects. And most of you have subscribed to see my YouTube content about biology and nature, not to watch me vlog about random things. But I had a revelation. You see, I am a very opinionated man, and YouTube has given me a platform, an audience, to listen to my opinions. Now, this was hard for me to resist. But it's also for the benefit of you, because this was my revelation. In Dutch we have a saying, and it goes, ik moet mijn ei kwijt. Literally translated, it means, I need to lay my egg. I have a pathological need to share my opinions. And I'm the same, because I'm very opinionated. But why is it for the benefit of you? Well, if I get to contain my opinions within one YouTube mini-series, that means that I don't have to vent them in my other YouTube content. That means if you are here to watch butterflies or moths or other things about nature, then that's fine. It means you won't get to see my opinions when you are watching something educational. So to sum it up, most of my content is for you, the viewers, to see. But this mini-series is for me, because I need to vent my opinions. It's also a very good way to answer personal questions that all of you have asked me in the comments. And now I've given you, the viewer, a choice. Do I want to see Bart's opinions or not? Or do I just want to see the butterflies, moths, etc.? So there you go. Thanks for watching BartVlogs. Like, subscribe, and consider joining my crowdfunding platform, Patreon, because for some reason my entire YouTube channel is permanently demonetized and I'm reliant on crowdfunding for 100% to run this channel. Thanks for watching. Until next time in BartVlogs.